Hey comic book fans, your pal David here to give you guys your comic fix. Now these are the last books of the week, so let's just jump right in with Supergirl, issue number 10. Now last time we left off Supergirl, she was face off against Black Banshee and got sucked into his world. And when we open up these pages, we find out that she's in Krypton. Slowly we learn that she's not actually in Krypton, but she's actually in Black Banshee's world. Black Banshee kind of reminds me of like a Freddy Krueger type of character. And when you're going through this world, you look at the art looked a little off to me. It didn't look as good as what we've seen in previous issues. And I don't think that's just a knock on the artist, but I just don't think it was playing to his strengths like we've seen in the previous issues. So that whole storyline ends, and it didn't really feel like it gave anything more to the storyline that's going on. It just felt like a bump in the road. And the ending left on a cliffhanger that you know that stuff is going to pick up with the next couple issues, but just this issue in particular was just not as good as all the rest. So I'm going to be giving Supergirl issue number 10 a 2 out of 5. Just know that this series is really good and definitely one of the best in the Superman family book line. Next up is Catwoman issue number 10. Now Catwoman, she's looking into some abductions that have been happening in Gotham. The people that have been getting abducted are some whores and some drug dealers. And the police don't want to look into it, Batman's not looking into it, and it's up to Catwoman to figure out who's doing it. We slowly figure out that the guy that's doing it is a guy named Dollhouse. Now, Dollhouse, I don't know if he has anything to do with the doll maker that we've seen in Detective Comics. I hope so, because having two doll people in Gotham is just going to be a little too much doll for me. There's a lot of setup for this story arc that's going on, because this was the first issue in a about a 6-issue story arc, and I'm hopefully that this whole issue start to pick up some speed. I'm going to be giving Catwoman issue number 10 a 2.5 out of 5. Good issue, but it definitely is a lot of just, setting up for the story arc that's going to be happening. Next issue is one of my favorite series, and that is Wonder Woman issue number 10. Now, I'm not going to ruin this story because the story is just so good. I mean, Wonder Woman, she's getting married to Hades, and that's all I'm going to tell you about. The art is done by two people. The first 9 pages is done by a guy named Kano, and the second half of the book is a guy by the name of Akins. Now, Kano, when he's doing the whole wedding part, you got all these whites around. But the white, like all the walls and everything are very plain. But even though it's all white, it just seems very dark, and you definitely tell you're in hell. And then you got the people around him watching the ceremony, and they're all just these figures of humans, but you don't see no facial, recognition and anything like that. And you're just looking at it, you're just like, wow, this looks really evil, even though it's mixed with all this light. And then Akins, I think that's his name, he comes into play, and he just puts in all these reds, and it just goes so well with what we saw in the previous 9 issues, or 9 pages. And I just love the way that these two artists played together. Very good. And the writing was as good as it could be, and I just love this series. I'm going to be giving Wonder Woman issue number 10 a 4.5 out of 5. And if you guys are not reading this series, definitely do, because it's definitely up to par with Batman. Now, the last book of the week, and that is Nightwing issue number 10. Now, Nightwing has been really good up to, I think, the last 4 issues, and this issue in particular is just as good as all the rest. Now, Nightwing, he wants to bring back a light in Gotham. He knows that there's all this dark around there, and he wants to have a beacon of hope for Gotham. So he's looking at rebuilding the fairgrounds that they have there, and have the Haley Circus there, and just have like a beacon of hope for Gotham. And I just love that whole part of it. And then you get him trying to figure out these murders that have been going on, and there's like this branded tattoo on all of them with like an A with like a O around it, not like the anarchy sign, but more like the Alpha and Omega sign. And you just get some cool action sequence with that whole stuff. And I cannot wait to see where Kyle Higgins is going to take this book, because I think this beacon of hope for Gotham every single time they try to have a beacon of hope for Gotham, it never works out, but I'm just hoping that we can see some really cool stuff come out of this book. I'm going to be giving Nightwing issue number 10 a 4 out of 5. Another good issue, and Kyle Higgins, you're doing one hell of a job, and keep it up. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed your fix. You guys know what to do. Subscribe up top, like on the bottom. My name's David, and you guys can follow me on Twitter, and the description will be down below, and it's at FalconXXL. So, my name's David, and thank you guys for watching.